Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Those orbs already? Wasn't paying attention good enough. Hello. If you're new here and you're just hopping on, welcome in. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Just cleaning my glasses, like always, so I can see the chat. Hello, hello. Anybody there? Anybody want to talk tonight? Hello, hello. So if you're just coming in, tell us who you are, where you're from. So tonight we're talking about cultivating forgiveness. We are. How is everybody? Hello, hello. I'm cold without my sweatshirt, but I think I'm going to be hot with it. It's like you can't win, I swear. All right, guys. I'm running 2 minutes late because I was trying to get my I put in a title for my video or my live, and it would not hit done. I'm like, come on. So, welcome in. If you're new here, welcome in. Tell me who you are, where you're from. Let's see if TikTok's going to let comments come through tonight. We're talking about cultivating forgiveness tonight. And we're going to talk about kind of two different aspects of it, just briefly. So, all right. What time is it? Okay. Well, we're already 5 minutes in, so I'm just going to go ahead and get going. So if you're not familiar, my name is Renee. Welcome. I started my TikTok in March of 2024. And the reason I started my TikTok is because in September of 2023, my husband, for TikTok purposes, unalived himself. And that's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my spirit guides. Was that an orb up there? Seems like I saw one when I first hopped on too. That's when I discovered that I had abilities to talk to my spirit guides, and they slowly breadcrumb me to my purpose. If you're not familiar with my story, my husband and I were together for 32 years. Okay, so I wasn't seeing things. So my husband and I were together for 32 years, never apart more than those 2 weeks in 32 years. And so I never knew an adult life without him. So when he checked out on me, I didn't know what I was going to do. He didn't leave me in a great spot financially, and so therapy was out, and I'm the circle that don't fit in the square, so I knew group therapy probably wasn't going to work for me either. And so once I decided I was going to stay on this planet, I had to find a way to heal myself. And so I basically started to deep dive into meditation and journaling, and that's how I discovered my guides and my purpose, because the first message I ever got in meditation was, what heals you will heal others. Sorry, I just thought of something. Give me 1 sec. If I don't write it down, I'll forget. Anybody else like that? Don't write it down right away. It's gone. And so, oh, there goes my nose. Every live, as Grandma would say. Somebody's talking about me. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And so, yeah, my purpose is to help other people with loss and trauma and to uplift others. That's why I'm here. I only have 2 rules on my page. The first one is I just ask that you always be kind. And if you can't do that, hop off and keep scrolling. Hey, Wayne, I thought I saw you hop on. How are you? How's your Sunday going? And the second one is we just don't talk any politics here. just not at all what my page is about. There's a million other pages out there for that. I always like to say I'm on my journey of life where I am, and you're on your journey of life where you are, and none of us are going to agree on everything. So we agree to disagree here. And if you can't do that, I hope that you just hop off and keep scrolling. Sorry, I got sidetracked by a message. Bentley, get down. Get down. If you're going to do that, you got to get down. You can't shake mom's whole bed. So now he's going to readjust. Don't sit on my cord. Sorry. I always like to say we're not shy here, so don't be shy. My page depends on you commenting. Hopefully TikTok lets comments come through tonight. I've seen a few. Very relaxing. Good. Mine wasn't too bad. I got some laundry done. I did some dishes. I made some chili. Let's see. So yeah, it was all in all a good day, I guess you could say. It was kind of cloudy here. The sun did shine a little bit, but just, yeah, one of those days, you know? I was hoping to go to the gym, but that didn't work out. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow morning I can make it to the gym. I've been shooting for once a week, but that doesn't always work. Anyway, back to it. So, like I said, I believe that in my journey and you have your journey. And so we just agree to disagree here because I know you're on yours and I'm on mine. So tonight we're going to talk about cultivating forgiveness and what does that look like? And we're actually going to talk about two aspects of that. And you think, how is there two? But there are two. We'll get to that. So when I go live at night, my guides give me the topic. And so that is our topic for tonight. If you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. If you're new here, if you're not new here, I'm sorry that you've heard me say those things a million times already. So cultivating forgiveness, it's a personal choice to let go of anger, resentment, and bitterness. Like I said, don't be shy. So hop in anytime if you've got a comment or anything you'd like to add. Don't be shy. You're never interrupting me. This is what my page is about. We're just having a conversation. So tonight the conversation's about cultivating forgiveness. So it's a personal choice to let go of anger, resentment, and bitterness. It's a gift you give yourself to release the pain and to find inner peace. It does not excuse someone else's harmful behavior, right? And I've said that for years. A lot of people think, hi, Douglas, how are you? A lot of people think when you forgive somebody that means that you're letting that person off the hook or you're excusing them, right? Good. I'm glad to hear that. Can I remember? Can I remember what? Do you want to elaborate on that, Tony? And so forgiveness isn't about that at all, right? It's about finding inner peace within yourself. There was another orb. Did you see that? That's like 3 tonight already. And so it doesn't mean you're releasing. Good evening. Good evening to you. I'm sorry. Well, let's everybody put up some good vibes and prayers for Tony with his Parkinson's. FYI, I did tell my wife. Okay. Do you want to talk about it on here? Or you can message me after too. Let me know. I would be curious to know. But of course, it's none of my business unless you want it to be my business. So good vibes for Tony and good vibes for Douglas, guys. He's struggling with some things too. So we throw up good vibes and prayers for you both. That's what my page is about. Yeah, I figured that's what you were talking about. But like I said, if you want to share on here, you're welcome to. Otherwise, you're welcome to message me. Like I said, it's none of my business unless you want it to be part of my business. So, okay, let's keep going. So it's a gift for yourself. Like I said, it's to release that pain, right? It does not excuse someone else's harmful behavior. So what does that look like? What does forgiveness look like? Acknowledging the pain, not denying or minimizing or ignoring the hurt or who caused, I cannot talk. Let's try this again. Either can't talk or can't read my writing, or probably all of the above. Acknowledging the pain, not denying, minimizing, or ignoring the hurt that was caused to you. There we go. Hi, Cindy. Good evening. You hopped in at a perfect time, me trying to talk and read it, which apparently is not a good combo tonight. Okay, so a conscious decision, and we're talking about cultivating forgiveness tonight. So hop in, feel free to have an open discussion, guys. A conscious decision to deliberately choose to let go of the anger and thought of revenge, right? I know when I first met my husband, I was very young, and I'm very much a Scorpio. And Scorpios can hold, I don't want to say hold a grudge, but they can be vindictive, right? We can go below the belt. If we feel somebody does us wrong, we can go below the belt. And I was very much that way when I was younger. I'm trying very hard as I've grown and evolved as a person in my adult later years to not be like that. But some people are. But I've also learned since my husband's passed, karma will do its thing, right? So I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be revengeful because karma takes care of everything. I just focus on me and staying in Renee's lane. So, and remembering that forgiveness can be an ongoing process, right? Releasing resentment. You let go of the desire to punish the other person, right? That desire for revenge, that desire to punish them. I look like a toddler's grandma. Okay. Is that a good thing? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Do you have a name? Is it Katie? Thank you for the follow. Is it Mary? Welcome. Glad to have you here. So if you're just hopping on, tell us who you are, where you're from. My name is Renee. Welcome. We're talking about cultivating forgiveness tonight. And apparently I look like a toddler's grandma, which is okay. I do have a toddler, and I am a grandma to that toddler. So, all right. This does not mean excusing that wrong or minimizing your pain, right? We talked about that. It does not mean excusing them. Forgiveness is for us, not for them. And that's where people get it wrong. Kate from Maryland, welcome. We're glad to have you here. If I could talk tonight. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong because they think, oh, they hold this grudge forever. And they think that if you hold this grudge, then, you're causing that person pain. And somebody told me something once when I was in my 20s that hit home. I think it was my aunt. And she said to me, why are you stewing about it? Because there was something I was stewing about it, and she knew. And she's like, why are you stewing about it? And I was like, okay. And she's like, guaranteed they're not stewing. They're not stewing about it. So you're sitting here wasting your time and your energy stewing when that person's not, right? So by not forgiving somebody, by stewing on it and having thoughts of anger and resentment, you're letting them steal your peace. You're letting them steal your everything, right? So it's just easier to just forgive because there again, it's for you, right? Forgiveness isn't for anyone else. Forgiveness is for you. Or like her, actually. Okay. Sure. And so that's the thing. Don't let people steal your peace. It's not worth it. They're going to get theirs at the end, right? I truly believe what you put out into this world, you get back. So if you put out good, you're going to get good back. And if somebody puts out bad, and especially to you, they're going to get what they're going to get, right? So for your peace, forgiveness. All right. So what are some daily practices that we can do? One more thing. You can forgive someone without letting them back into your life. That was an important one. That's why I wanted to go back. So setting boundaries, right? Maybe somebody steals your peace and, they've done something to you. you can still keep them at an arm's length, because sometimes, sadly, sometimes it's family, right? And sometimes we can't. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can cut them off. But sometimes it's just keeping them at arm's length and just setting your boundaries. And that's huge. And a lot of people don't know about boundaries. So if you struggle with boundaries and you need help, get a hold of me. We'll talk boundaries because Renee knows all about boundaries now. Okay, so what are some daily practices? Be kind to yourself regarding past mistakes and flaws, right? Sometimes just, I guess, taking our responsibility and our part of it, and there again, staying in your lane, worrying about your end of it and not their end of it, right? Because like I said, karma will do its thing. So you just stay in your lane, forgive because that's for you. Doesn't mean you have to forget. There again, we're not excusing them. We're not letting them off the hook. You're just giving yourself forgiveness so that way they're not stealing your peace. Shift your perspective. Stop viewing yourself as a victim, right? I know in the very beginning when my husband passed, and this is a little bit different situation, but, I could view myself as a victim, right? He left me with nothing, literally, basically, and yes. And so this is the other part of forgiveness. When I said in the beginning, we were going to talk about 2 parts of forgiveness, right? When somebody wrongs us, and then, so forgiving him for leaving me how he did, that's one part of it. But the other one is forgiving myself for the guilt that I had, right? That he left, that I could have somehow stopped that. And that's the other part of forgiveness, is knowing that we're not responsible for other people's choices. We're not. They make choices every day, and we're not responsible for that. So giving yourself grace and forgiveness for choices that somebody else made that are out of your control, right? So stop viewing yourself as a victim. View yourself as a survivor. Heart to Jessica. And that wasn't aimed at you. Honestly, I didn't even think of you until I was talking, but and I'm not saying you're a victim, but I'm just saying you got to show yourself some forgiveness, right? You really do. And some grace. So stop viewing yourself as a victim. View yourself as a survivor or someone who grew from adversity, right? Use what has happened to you to be able to move forward and it make you stronger. In my case, sharing my experiences with others, hopefully making them, using my experiences to help other people. I don't know if I said that right. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry, I'm just reading your comment there. So yeah, showing yourself grace and forgiveness for whatever part you had in it. Because here's the thing, whatever happened. It's done, right? So all you can do is move forward. And that's where, one of the things in the 3 years, my 3-year journey is learning from my guides is changing your perspective and taking yourself out of the equation as a victim and using whatever you went through to propel you forward to help others, or to make you stronger. Because here's the thing, is we go through all of these things in life. They're a lesson, right? Very motivating for me. Much better. Oh, thank you, Cindy. I appreciate the kind words so much. But that's the thing is, and I've talked about this on other lives, you can take it 2 ways when something happens to you, right? You can become the victim and you can sit and wallow and, let it break you, or you can flip that perspective and, like I said, have it help you propel you forward. And just remembering there again, everything in this life that we go through because it's a lesson for us. We chose that. When we come here, we sign up for our soul contract. We chose the lessons we were going to go through. Like, I know the day that my husband passed, I sat in my mom's yard and said, I can't believe I chose this crap. Like, I can't believe that I chose this. But I did. And I did it for a reason, because I wanted that lesson. And also I have a higher purpose here. And so I had to go through everything that I went through, exactly how I went through it, to propel me forward for my purpose. And, just changing that perspective, like we've talked about multiple times, of this isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to allow it to break you? Or are you going to allow it to, like I said, propel you forward and make you stronger, and hopefully use that in a positive way or a positive light, right? So let's see. Journal. I put journey. I'm like, can't read my writing. It helps if I write the right word. I was trying to write this and eat my supper. Journal your thoughts. Write down your feelings. Process them without editing or censoring yourself, right? And even just speaking it out loud. For me, multiple times, I've been very, very, very vocal on here in the last 2 years about how the anger was the hardest for me to get over when my husband left. And being able to just speak it out loud, right? When nobody is around. How dare that you have left me like this? How dare you knew that you were going to put me in this position, right? And there again, the same things that we've talked about before. Just because I say something, or you say or feel something, and it doesn't sound logical, right? You say it out loud and you're like, that doesn't make sense, right? He probably didn't know the position he was going to leave me in. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, right? But he obviously wasn't in his right mind to make the decision that he made. And so, but that doesn't make my feelings of why did you do this, and leave me in this position invalid, right? I'm still allowed my feelings, whether they're valid or not. But that doesn't mean that I should act on those feelings. Does that make sense? So, vocalizing it and being able to talk about it, vent to somebody, or just vent out loud in your house or in your car, right? There was a conversation that him and I had in the truck on the way home from work last fall, where it was like, it's been really effing hard since you left. And, being able to just say it out loud, to get it out. And this is the part that people fail to realize, is they don't want to journal about it. They don't want to talk about it, because guess what? That means you have to feel it. So while you're writing or you're talking, you're saying it out loud, you're feeling it, and people don't want to feel it. But here's the catch. If you don't feel it, you won't heal it. So you have to go through those motions, right? Maybe the past childhood or early adulthood traumas or whatever, right? People don't want to forgive because, one, there again, they think that it's for the other person. It's not. And they might have to feel what they're feeling, and they don't want to do that. But sadly, that's the only way that you're going to heal. That's the only way you're going to come out of what I call the storm. All right. Sorry, I digress. I got off there a little bit. Let's see. Without editing or censoring yourself, focus on the present moment. This is where we get caught up, because we get caught in the past, or we get caught in the future. Guess what? Past's already happened. You can't change it. None of it. None of it. Not a day, not a second, not a minute of it. You can't change it. So the past is in the rearview mirror for a reason. And the future isn't here yet. All you truly have is this moment right here, right now. The present. So focus on, like I tell everybody, since I lost my husband, I just stay in Renee's lane. I focus on me right here, right now, my life, right? That's where I'm at. Okay. Focus on the current moment whenever old patterns arise. And I'm guilty. I'm still guilty, right? I still have patterns that come up. But the thing is I've grown and evolved enough to be able to catch myself now, right? If I'm sitting here stewing about something, I catch myself within a short period of time now. Or maybe I would have stewed about something for days. And, I don't let my emotions control my whole day, where before I would have, before I lost my husband, or even right after I lost my husband. If I was upset about it, I would have stewed about it, or I would have, let those emotions carry me all day. And I don't now, right? I decide. I control my emotions, not my emotions control me anymore. They don't, So, and that's a big one for people, because people let their emotions, right, control them. And it should be the other way around, right? We control how long we're angry. We control how long we're happy, when we're happy, or when we have joy. We control when we're angry and how long we stay angry, right? So you control your emotions just like you control your journey. You decide your life. You write your story, not the other way around. You can let it, write itself, but you have the ability to do that. You have the ability to change that. So, okay, pouring out your rawest emotion, remembering you have to feel it to heal it. And there again, like I said, just being downright raw sometimes is what you got to do. And letting those emotions out. And now we're kind of talking about forgiveness for yourself, right? Not so much forgiving somebody else, but forgiving yourself and letting those emotions out, right? Just having a good old cry. As my grandma would say, okay, girlie, have a pity party. And she'd say, okay, you had your pity party. Now pull up your big girl pants. Let's go, right? Sometimes we need a pity party. Sometimes, the other day I was kind of having a anxiety attack before I went to my first event. And I called my daughter when I just needed to hear her voice. I haven't heard her voice in a while. I just needed to hear her voice, and I was, upset because I was having anxiety and I was nervous. And she's like, Mom, do you just need to have a good cry? And I did. And she's like, have a good cry. And you know what you would tell me. Okay, you had your cry. Now get up and get going, right? You got this. Big girls do cry. Yeah, it's okay to cry. Just don't unpack and live there, Jessica, right? That's the thing. I love that song. And actually, I listened to that song a lot after I lost my husband. And big girls do cry. That's good. Learning is good. Absolutely learning is good. All right. So remembering to pour out those emotions. Forgiving. And there again, we kind of talked about mine and, forgiveness, forgiving myself, and understanding that there again, I wasn't responsible for his choice, right? We're not responsible for other people's choices. If you had something bad happen to you when you were in your childhood and somebody did something to you in your childhood, forgiving yourself, realizing that you were a child and, you don't have control over if an adult did something to you when you were a child. They were an adult. They knew better, and I've had this discussion with people where things have happened to them and, one of the parents was upset with them. And it's like, no, the parent doesn't have a right to be upset with the child for what another adult did to that child. That parent's just projecting their guilt because they are the ones responsible for that child. And if they didn't protect that child, then, right? So forgive yourself, realizing that you were a child, you had no say in anything, right? So forgive yourself. And it doesn't mean just an adult doing something really bad. I think you know where I'm going with this, right? Whether it be physical abuse, sexual abuse, mental abuse, it doesn't matter. It all falls in that same category. You were a child. You are not responsible for what that adult did to you. Okay? All right. So forgiving yourself, the takeaway for tonight is forgiving yourself, because forgiveness is for you all the way around, right? Forgiving yourself if somebody made a choice, forgiving yourself if something happened to you as a child, and, you know, forgiving yourself, forgiving someone else if they did something to you. Because remember, there again, forgiveness is for you, not for them. Forgiveness is for your peace, your inner peace, not for them. Sorry, guys, I'm suddenly got a headache. Give me a sec. Okay. So that's pretty much everything I have. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about tonight, or want to add to that, or comment? Going once. While I'm waiting to see if anybody has any comments. If you're not familiar, I also have a YouTube channel, which is under Scorpio Medium. If you're not a subscriber over there, I would love it if you went over there and subscribed. All of the videos that you find here, you'll find, thank you for that, Jessica, you'll find over there. The only difference is I upload my lives over there too. So if you enjoy my lives and you miss one and you want to catch it, you can head on over to Scorpio Medium and you can catch those over there. I am here. I am back now Sunday through Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Keep in mind, guys, I am human. Things happen. Things come up in my life. So there are nights that I am just not here. But I'm trying very hard to be consistent. I've always tried very hard to be consistent. Sunday through Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Wednesdays being our mini read nights. We're going to keep it there because people seem to like it there. So 7:30 p.m. Wednesday night is mini read night. I do schedule one-on-one readings and group readings. So if you would like to set one up, go down to my bio, click on my link tree. You'll find my email in my link tree. You'll see all my links, my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube is all down there now in my link tree. You can find my email address, and that's how I set those up. So if you would like a reading, send me an email. I'm starting to do group readings. And if you're not local, which means if you're not in Iowa where I'm at, I can do group readings over Zoom. So a minimum of at least, I think, what did I say? I think it's like 5. I have to have at least 5 people, up to 15 people. I think. I'm going to post that. I have a thing to post. I just hadn't got it done yet tonight with all that information. So also, if you go to my link tree, you'll find I have a Venmo link. So if you would like to donate to my channel, it does take me time. I do put time and effort into this. So if you'd like to leave me a tip on my Venmo, they are greatly appreciated, but never expected. And that's pretty much everything I have. Sunday, so I'll be back here tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Don't know what I'm talking about yet. Does anybody else? Nobody else have anything? Going once? Going twice? All right. Well, on that note, I hope y'all have a great night. Remember, forgiveness is for you. I love you all. Thank you for all the gifts. Without you guys, I wouldn't have a channel. I appreciate you so very, 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 very much. Have a great night. Remember to make tomorrow great, because it is a choice. It's also Monday, new week, new start, fresh start. You can always start over, no matter what. You always have a fresh start. So on that note, make it great until we meet again.